Good afternoon and good evening. I'm Ochanda with Kush News on the Kush Convos TV YouTube channel. We bring the top stories of Africa and the Caribbean. Let's get to it. This is weekend edition of Kush News. We start off in Senegal. Senegalese opposition supporters denounce the president. Hundreds of Senegalese demonstrators in Paris on Saturday denounced President Macky Sall's attempts for running a third term. For many, democracy in Senegal is under a threat, quote unquote, a Senegalese teacher had stated, because Senegal, as everybody knows, is a country that has not taken the same paths as other countries in Africa. It is a country that has shown the world that it is a democratic country that has chosen democracy as a concept where there have been two political alternations. The demonstration was organized by the party of the opposition figure Asumane Sonko. The participants claimed that at least 102 of its members have been detained for crimes of opinion. Another supporter of the opposition stated, "Perhaps today we no longer want to talk about neocolonialism, about France-Africa. We're fed up. The French are fed up. The Africans are fed up. Today we want democratic countries to take charge of their destinies and the destiny of their youths, so that young people are no longer obliged to take a boat to come to Europe and to France." The opposition leader in question, Asume Sonko, came third in the 2019 elections and has since emerged as the main opponent of President Macky Sall. Opponents and civil rights defenders claim that civil liberties in Senegal are coming under pressure in the run-up to the 2024 presidential elections that will be held in February. We'll be covering that here at Kush News. Anybody Senegalese, let us know your thoughts. Drop a comment below. Let's go ahead and go to North Africa. The United Nations envoy to Libya calls for an agreement on elections. The United Nations envoy to Libya, Representative Abdullahi Abathi, has called on Saturday for rival administrations in the country to reach an agreement by mid-June of this year and hold long-delay elections by the end of the year. Libya remains split between a nominally interim government in Tripoli in the west and another in the east backed by military strongman Khalifa Haftar. Tripoli officials stated that by mid-June it would be possible for them, having sat for a few weeks, to come to an agreement on those electoral laws to give them high national elections commissions, which will be on the basis of to put up a clear roadmap, because the roadmap, it is not up to me to design it, said a UN spokesperson. The head of the Tripoli government, Prime Minister Abdelhamid Debeba, expressed his support for the United Nations envoy and efforts for calling a free and impartial elections. The United Nations initiative has been backed by Western powers, but is criticized by the administration's support by Haftar in the east, as well as by Russia, which supports it. A key factor in the stalemate is the fact that Haftar is a U.S. citizen, and his rival want rules to ban the candidacy of dual citizens and military figures. Anybody Libyan or Libyan viewers or anybody in Libya, let us know what's going on the ground. Reach on out, drop a comment. Let's go to Central Africa, to the Democratic Republic of Congo. Angola to deploy troops after a failed truce. Angola says that it will send a military unit to Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo days after a truce it brokered failed to end fighting. On both sides in the conflict, the M23 rebels and government troops have accused each other of breaking the ceasefire that began on Tuesday. An East African force was also recently deployed to the area, which is rich in minerals and dozens of militias. The United Nations says the conflict has forced 300,000 people from their homes last month. This happened in the North Kivu province, which borders Rwanda, Uganda, and is a fertile and mountainous area with long plundered by rival groups. There is an increased concern about the humanitarian crisis caused by fighting, which has still been going on since Friday. The European Union had just started an operation to fly in aid to the regional capital, Goma, saying humanitarian agencies have become overwhelmed. A statement from the Angolan president's office said soldiers would be deployed to help secure areas that have been held by the M23 rebel group and to protect ceasefire monitors. Kenyan soldiers, who are part of the East African Community Regional Force, have been deployed to those areas as well. The rebels, who are reportedly supported and backed by Rwanda, have just hours earlier stated that they would withdraw from several captured villages. The Congolese government will welcome the arrival of Angolan troops to help in with the fight against the rebels. But there is a danger of this becoming a wider international conflict. More than 20 years ago, the armies of at least 8 different African countries fought a war in eastern Congo dubbed Africa's World War that caused an immense suffering to the civilian population. Rwanda denies the backing of M23, which has captured vast swathes of territory over the past year and has been advancing towards Goma. A decade ago, M23 fighters also captured large parts of North Kivu, but were eventually routed by the United Nations and regional troops as part of a peace broker deal, which had them disarmed. They began earlier this year with regrouping. Anybody in the Congo region, Rwanda region, or Ugandan region, reach on out to us and let us know what's going on the ground. Drop a comment below. We end the weekend edition of Kush News for the week of March 9th with the African proverb of the day on this Sunday, March 12th, 2023. And it is a Swahili proverb, and it reads, "To run is not necessarily to arrive." Once again, to run is not necessarily to arrive. African proverb of the day will be in the description below. I am Ochando with Kush News on the Kush Convos TV YouTube channel. This is the weekend edition. Enjoy.